many people don't actually know how to run businesses. If you're ever going to run your own business, watch this video. It's going to save you hundreds of millions. One of the challenges that people face when they want to run a business or when they're running their own business is the issue of employees stealing from the business and going to start their own. Maybe stealing physical items or products or services, or stealing the idea behind the business. I'm going to teach you a simple secret to overcome that. All right, it's very simple. So before I teach you, if you're not following me, you're missing a lot. Click this plus sign to follow me. Go to my page, just watch through my videos. You'll be mind blown. Make sure you drop a comment if you agree or disagree, and then click share to share this video. Many people need to see this video. They are losing money now. So big businesses know this secret, but smaller businesses, startups usually don't know. And the idea is that you're supposed to separate concerns. I call it separation of concerns. They can call it different things in different schools of business, but it's the same idea. For instance, if you walk into a bank, the first person you meet inside the bank is the security guard, and the security guard directs you where to park your car and then ushers you into the banking hall, and that's all. The security guard knows a total of 0 of what's happening inside the banking hall. So he can't wake up any day and steal the whole banking idea of how to run a bank and go start his own. He can't. It's not going to work. He doesn't know jack. He can work there for 300 years without knowing anything that happens inside the banking hall. Secondly, once you enter the banking hall, the first people you meet are the help desk, the customer service. All right. So I prefer to call them help desk. All right. So the help desk is usually facing the door, or just by the side of the door. So you meet them first. After you have tabled your problems and concerns, and they go through your account and see what the problem is, they direct you to somewhere else. So let's say it's to the cashier. The cashiers are usually in another room or upstairs in another floor entirely, so that the cashiers don't know what the hell is happening in the help desk section. The help desk guys don't know what the hell the cashiers do for a living, but it's the same building. Now, in some buildings where they can't put the cashiers in a different floor, they make sure that the cashiers are facing another direction. They are off to the side facing another direction, while the help desk is facing the entrance, so that they don't even get to communicate. Go and check it. And then there's the guys that count the money, the bulk room. They're in a totally different room. They can come to work every day for 1 year without meeting the help desk guys, but they're in the same office, the same company, sometimes in the same hall, demarcated by different demarcations. You see this in hospitals too. The help desk that you lay your complaint in is different from where the doctors that will treat you are in, different from where you make payment. When you want to make payment, they will direct you. The way you're going to make payment is different from the pharmacy. So the cashiers that are accepting your payment and giving you receipts, they don't know what the pharmacists do. If you've ever taken somebody to the hospital, you will see work, especially in a country like Nigeria, where they put the cashiers is usually far, 5, 10, 15 buildings away from where the pharmacy is. So you go to the doctor gives you a list of drugs you're going to buy, you head straight to where the cashiers are. The cashiers look at the drugs and then they bill you, you make payment, they give you receipts. Then they direct you where the pharmacy is. You start heading to the pharmacy. When you get to the pharmacy, you give them the receipt, then they give you the drugs. The pharmacists don't touch money. Do you get what I'm saying? They don't touch money. They don't know how you made the payment and how they don't even know. Some of them can work in the same hospital for 10 years without ever seeing the doctor that is giving these prescriptions. So you collect it, you start heading to some nursing room, from this nursing room to this section. Why is it like that? Why don't they put everything together to avoid the issue I'm telling you? Somebody waking up one day and say, oh, now I figured out this business, I don't need to be here. And you've invested so much in this stuff. Some of you now watching this, the easiest one you can implement is to make sure that the people receiving customer phone calls are not in the building. That one can be done remotely. hire a remote staff somewhere in another region, even another country. Their job is when customers come to your website and they want to buy your product and click to call, they are the first point of contact. These guys receive the call and then they tabulate whatever and then they direct that person to your office. There's an app in Nigeria, I think they call it Glovo. This is an app for ordering food. When you have a concern with the food, this is in Nigeria, right? You have a concern with the food delivery and all, and you decide to make a call to complain. Your call is going to like Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania. The people picking it, their accent is just way off, is way central South African, and you're in Nigeria. But it's remote. They're able to control, they're able to call your rider from there, direct this, that. You think they don't know what they're doing? I'm not saying that's why they did it, but it matches into what I'm saying. I've had that experience many times. So I don't know whether that's where they put all their customer care, but 100% of their customer cares that have called me are from another country altogether. The last one that called me was Indian accent, Indian. So what does this tell you? You have to separate people picking calls from people that are producing the product. So the manufacturers that are taking the customer care taking customer complaints have to be separate. They don't have to know the guys that are manufacturing. The technicians that are fixing it, they don't have to know. The guys doing the manufacture don't have to know the technicians. So in your company now, let's say you're running a textile company, right? Fashion design. Customers sending complaint, they see your advert. So the guys setting up the adverts are not the guys picking up the calls, customer calls. They don't have to know each other. So now customers see an advert set up by somebody else, they click on it, and then they make a call to somebody else or chat somebody else on WhatsApp. That person receives the customer, and then you can run your business with a software like an Excel sheet. Simple Google Sheets can actually run your business. All right. So this guy received the calls and tabulate that this number called and asked for that. Okay, status pending, period. Now this customer goes to your company and then meets the help desk and say, hey, I called you guys on phone and you guys directed me. Help desk opens the Excel sheet and sees that, oh, this guy called 1 hour ago and then this is what they discussed. And then they direct the customer to come and see the clothing to purchase. The guys producing the clothing that they have to hang on the wall are somewhere in the back room. They don't know what the hell is happening in the front room where the help desk is directing the customer to buy the product. They don't know how the product is being sold. Their own is just to stand sit in a line, producing the clothing with their tailoring machine. Now, what of the guys supplying the textiles? The guys supplying the textiles must not meet the guys producing it, the tailors themselves. So the supplier just gets has access to his own Excel sheet where he gets we need 30 pieces of this material, we need 40 pieces of this, we need 30 pieces of this. Supplier just gets it on his own, opens his Excel sheet or whatever app you're using to manage it and says, oh, we need this, that. He goes to get it fetching from the market. When he arrives in the company to supply it, he doesn't meet the tailors. He meets an inventory agent or whatever you call it. The guy that stands and says, okay, we asked for 30 pieces of this. He does the counting. Okay, bring it down, offload it. We got this marked, we got this marked. And then he packs it into the warehouse. Now the tailors go to the warehouse to pick. They don't know how the supplier got it. If you organize your business this way, the incidence of somebody waking up one day to steal your idea from one of your employees to go and start their own and start competing with you will reduce. So now you have control over that. You can now choose who you want to show all these things. So at any point in time, you're in perfect control. If you don't do it this way, you're going to realize what's happened in 1982, where the staff of one man stole his business idea and started competing with him. It happens all the time. Sometimes a staff will just connive and then rob all your products. Do you understand? The incidence of one person stealing all the products is hard because they have to connive. You have to connive with the customer service agent, connive with the cashier, connive before a robbery can happen within your staff. So this is a big secret I want you to go ahead with. Make sure you click this plus sign to follow me.